In this section, we'll look at how to read a drug label, and we'll look at syringes and IV bags as well and how to read them. So at the top of your notes, you've got descriptions of the different things you should find on almost all drug labels. There's a note at the bottom, and it tells you that the lot number and expiration date occur on actual prescriptions, but because these are just educational labels, we won't see these information. So at the bottom of your page, you should see an example of a drug label, and we'll look at this and figure out how to read this information off of it. So the first thing that we're looking for is the generic name, and you can see this on the top of your next page, on page 140. So the generic name that we see on this example drug label is right underneath the big name, but the generic name is the esomeprazole magnesium. And the trademark name is Nexium, and you can see that it's a trademark name because it has the little R with a circle around it, and that means trademark. The manufacturer is at the bottom in black, and that's the company that makes the drug. That's AstraZeneca. The NDC number is the National Drug Code number, and you can see that right above the Nexium. It says 01865020031. The lot number, again, is shown on actual prescriptions. It's not shown in these examples. The drug form is asking whether it's capsules or liquid. In this case, it says right underneath the generic name that it's capsules. The dosage strength is how much medicine is actually in it, and it says it in the circle there, and then it also says it with an asterisk underneath that. But the dosage strength is 20 milligrams. On the right-hand side of the drug label, in all capital letters, it says usual adult dosage, and then underneath it, it says see package insert. So that's all we can write here. We don't have the package insert to look up what the usual adult dosage is. And the total amount in the box, you can see that under the generic name it says 30 delayed release capsules. So there's 30 capsules in this box. The prescription warning is in the bold underneath where it says 30 delayed release capsules. The prescription warning is just telling you that this is only available with a prescription, the RX. And the expiration date, again, would occur on an actual drug label, but as this is just an example, we don't have the expiration date on this example. So let's look at this syringe. So we need to look at the total volume on this. It tells us right here that this is in cc's, cubic centimeters. And the liquid lines straight up with this line right here at 0.8. So this is 0.8 cc's. There are between each number 10 lines. So let's say for a minute that the liquid had gone to right here. That's the big line between the 0.8 and the 0.9, so that's 5 little lines. So if it was there, we would add a 5 on the end, 0.85. Or if it was right here, that would be 0.94. The number of lines after gives us the next decimal place. So let's look at this one. In this case, we've got teaspoons on the bottom and milliliters on the top. So you want to see which line it measures up with the best in order to read it. So this liquid is somewhere between 1 and 1.5, but we don't really know how much. So we're not going to use the teaspoon side, we're going to use the milliliter side. And then we need to see where it lines up. So between the 5 and the 6, so we're going to have a 5 because it's not to the 6. But then it's 4 lines after the 5, right? 4 spaces. And it's 4 out of 5. So the fraction would be 4/5. So you could take 4 divided by 5 in your calculator, and you'll get 0.8. So this is 5.8. So again, you're counting the number of spaces between two numbers. There's 5 spaces, so that's the bottom line. And in this case, it goes over to the 4th space right here. So our top number is 4. And then we're changing that into a decimal. So we'll look at one more example here. This is an IV bag. And it tells us here the IV bag has 1,000 milliliters. So from the 0 to the bottom is 1,000 milliliters. So this is actually read a little bit backwards. The numbers here tell us how much have been infused, how much have been used. So this 2 right here is telling us that from 0 to 2 have been used up, and that 2 actually represents 200. And you can tell that because there's 10 spaces between here and the bottom, and so if you take 1,000 divided by 10, you get 100. So each line actually is 100. So this 1 represents 100, and this 2 represents 200, and that's how much have been infused, 200, and again it's milliliters. So if we had 1,000 to start off with, and we've used 200 of it, 200 has already been dripped into the person, then we now have 800 milliliters left.